aí camarada, suave, ManoBigodi aqui, trazendo mais um vídeo aqui para de Genshin parte. E continuando de onde nós paramos, são 5 ali, por pistas, né? E vamos tentar sermos meio que discretos, né? Tomar cuidado com o que a gente fala, né? Que pode ser que a gente não consiga as informações. Eu posso estar falando um pouco baixo, mas é que tá tarde, né? Eu não quero acabar acordando meus pais, que moram no quarto abaixo. Então, perdão se eu acabar falando alto, então. Perdão se eu acabar falando baixo, né, no caso. Mas enfim, sem mais enrolação, vamos criar por pistas com a Dia.
Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land?
De bem longe. Olá.
Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
Yeah. Have you seen Engano, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Mas ela também não veio do outro lado das muralhas.
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just a few days ago.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days. So, you came here to help him out?
Hey, keep it
por aí.
down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together? Besides, Delavar and his friends have muscle. They'd be a good fit for escorting the goods.
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him. Come with me.
Bacana, bacana. Tudo certo por enquanto. Por enquanto.
Are we there yet?
Yep, this is the place.
Suspeito.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Muito suspeito.
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in the dark.
Quando
You're like lambs to the slaughter.
Quando eu vi, mano, que é um lugar deserto, é aqui, é um clássico. Todo mundo já vi isso muitas vezes, já. É aqui. Oxi, aqui não tem nada. Exatamente. Ele já ficou séria já. Traiu ela.
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there. Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the academia to look for the missing scholars.
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. I knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake.
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little business deal nonsense?
Olha que a Dia Pode enfiar essa espada no seu rabo, hein, seu safado.
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Acho que é fraca, hein?
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds than you think. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the academia.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
Ah, tá. Você virou outro da muralha. Acho que isso que você vira a pessoa da cidade de Sumeru, não do deserto.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samio would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Engar. You're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of the Scarlet King despise the most.
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet King is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't deserve to join us.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors. Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking! Get him!
Oh, deixa eu testar a Dia, por favor.
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Morto. Morto não, né? Derrotar.
Impossible! How could you?
Ela não é a leoa
What do you
flamejante à
think about your
toa.
meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what
Se
you thought,
fudeu redondo
right?
aí, ó.
You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we
Você
drank
foi burro e
together.
acreditou.
You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic.
Caralho,
Okay,
patético. Deu um
that should be
chutão
all
nele,
of them.
na cara dele.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in
Caralho,
Aru Village?
essa boneca.
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Então, os nomes que você mencionou.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher.
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Engar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Engar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up with for themselves. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Engar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how the Scarlet King is a superior deity.
What
Esse
about
cara.
Zaki?
Esquece do
He's just a
apelido.
numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down.
E quem é o ladrão de barba
That's
torta?
what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impressions.
Wow! What a genius idea! Well, that's an
Ela é
expert
realmente muito
mercenary for
esperta,
ya.
né?
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm
Na
honest.
missão é quando a gente passa, se provou muito esperta também, né?
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really true?
About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Ela já falou que ela tem princípios também.
Does that bother you?
Eu não acho que você é esse tipo de pessoa.
What makes you so sure?
Porque mesmo sem ter um empregador, você ainda está nos ajudando.
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the academia's trickery. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village.
Boa. Mano, a gente pode combinar dia, mas ela te confiança, de verdade. Eu gostei muito dela, velho. Espero conseguir pegar ela quando ela vier em bandeira. Mas vai demorar, eu acho. Acho que ela vai na 3.3 não, cara. Acho que ela vai vir só na 3.4. É o que eu acho, né?
Luck can swing the result.
Acho que era
This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
a voz do sino fazendo animação, uma coisa assim, só.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Candace, do you need any help?
Não, acho que
Candace
ela
will
dá
be
conta,
okay
né?
on her own.
Ah, yeah.
I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here
Pode
tomorrow
ser.
morning, traveler.
Ah,
As
vou
for
mudar
these
o horário de
idiots,
dia.
let's just hope they live to see another day.
Caralho. É isso. Até amanhã. Do dia seguinte. Que horas? 6. Vou colocar umas 7. Que 6 horas é esculacho, né? Pronto.
Hey, Dia.
Right on time. We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
Vocês descobriram quem é será quem, né? Não pensei que ia ser um diálogo meu. Para estar pensando um dia, você conhece. Você parece conhecer muito bem. Vocês são amigas há muito tempo?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great too.
Really? Thanks for that.
Eu sinal ali, né?
Zino's here, and he's pretty early too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
A interrogar os caras.
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Arrancar a unha.
Oh! You mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Persuasivos.
Come on in, everyone.
Coitados, cara, se
Come
fudeu
on,
muito.
let's go
Nem
inside.
sei, cara. Quer nem saber o que ele fez, mano. Métodos mais persuasivos. Veja bem, amigo. Ó, se você me contar o que eu quero, vou pegar esse alicatão aqui, ó. Pegar bem assim, ó, na sua unha e puxar muito forte pra sair. Vamos testar, vamos fazer com uma só, depois a gente faz com as outras. Mas se você me contar, não farei.
You look furious.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away?
Seu
Oh,
rosto.
there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure.
Não,
Still,
tem que
it's
mostrar, né? Porque
perfectly
ela tá...
understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, don't beat us anymore. You're gonna die.
Caralho, viado. Por favor, não me mata mais, eu vou morrer. O cara tá muito fodido. Ah, mano, é esse tipo de cena que eu quero ver o anime, velho, né? Porque, ó, o cara tá inteiro ali, né? Imagina no anime, o cara todo roxo, assim, ó. Cheio com gala aqui no olho, assim, todo inchado. Aí, não me bate mais. Esse é muito bom, velho. Mas não mostra aqui. O cara todo ferrado. Quase morto, né? Não mostra.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
A discípula agora é como mestre.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me, what would you do to you in my position?
Mercy! Please, have mercy!
Ah, eu tirei piedade,
You've made your
misericórdia.
bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of the Scarlet King will only result in war. And war serves no one. The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life.
Fala pra eles.
A war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry. I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us go.
Cara, ela bateu
I'm
muito
listening.
neles, velho. Sabe?
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Ah, vá, que não foi você que teve a ideia, mano. Vai para os...
Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process.
Onde estão os guardiões da vila?
I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Cara, mano, o bichão é seco, porra.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was all him.
Dele quem?
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there.
2. Ele nos levou para fora de casa durante a noite com algum tipo de incenso. Nós levamos ele até um cruzamento fora da vida. Então o cara misterioso levou eles embora. Ele vai matar você.
Please, I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
Aí pronto. Os caras viram que ia matar, né? Você tem alguma ideia quem essa pessoa misteriosa é?
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way.
Realmente, dele não.
That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face. He calls himself the Scarlet King's envoy.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Jumpu?
Uncle Anpu? What do you mean?
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the academia. Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands.
Caralho,
They
que
were the ones who
maracutaia.
brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back. We aren't gonna let that happen.
Not the academia again.
Mano, ser deu não é mais seu não, velho. Você já vem isso falando pra nós na cidade de Meru.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars.
Bicho, tá bravo.
Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet
Alright.
back here once everyone's ready.
Você é doido, essa missão tá muito boa, velho. Esse cara morto aqui no chão. Deixa eu ver o que você tem a dizer.
What scheme is the academia?
Nem ideia.
You look worried. Thinking about the village keepers?
Yes. I'd look for them myself if I could. As members of our village, each one of them is very important to me.
You have a strong sense of belonging here. I guess I'm the opposite. Mercs are stray dogs, wherever they go.
Dia, don't say that. You can be a part of this community too.
Thanks. I'll let you know when I feel like joining.
Legal. Elas parecem ser boas amigas. Legal, acho legal. Dizem que esconde nossas profundezas, além do que é possível contar. A sabedoria sem fim do rei da Shred. Tinha uns radicais falando que ele é o verdadeiro rei da sabedoria, hein? Ele tem os apetrechos tecnológicos, né? Só que inteligência não é uma coisa que sabedoria, né? Ah, o rei tá aí, ó.
Let's get some food in us and then
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages, and now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Where have you been anyway? Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname!
Já cadê minha gente? Pode dar.
Never mind.
Ele falou que você não pensa.
There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. Makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru village and keep searching for the truth of this matter, yes?
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere.
Pô, a trilha sonora de Sumiu tá muito boa, né, cara? Ó, Spine. Do nada, mas foi mal, ele tá muito bom.
Enough with the silent treatment!
Talvez eles estejam estudando um tempo.
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
All hate them. You haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Sim.
Yeah,
Só
you're
assim.
all talk.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
É.
To be honest,
Não acho.
we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
What does that mean?
Como assim?
How do you think the residents of Aru village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons. Remember what Gandis said? Most people in Aru village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether the Scarlet King or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village.
Ah, é só omitiram, né? Isso quer dizer que podemos descobrir coisas novas novamente com quem conversamos?
Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
E ela conhecia a gente, não assim?
Those eyes.
Ah, não. Era só...
You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the radicals'
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Meteu o louco.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then why would she lie?
Tá com medo,
By
né?
getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it.
Ah, mano, você não tem culpa, né, mano? Ele tem cara que vai te matar, né, velho? Não, mas vai sim, ó. Tá indo. Falou que não ia matar ainda agora, né, safado? Toque, toque.
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Tô fechadão com o rei, então pode abrir.
What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is
Vou
it really
ganhar.
that simple?
É, simples.
May I call you Traveler?
Todos me chamam assim, eu querendo ou não, então pode chamar. Claro, ou a senhorita chama.
Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better?
Não,
Why is that?
porque isso só trará guerra.
That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Não posso prometer nada, mas farei o melhor que eu puder.
Yeah, we came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation.
A Paimon também não tem uma nação específica.
But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in.
Que porra é a Paimon? Eu sei que é do velho, mas que
We have
inferno,
friends
velho.
in Sumeru, and we want to
Mano,
help them. That's why we
é um dos
decided to stay
personagens que a
here
gente
for a while.
menos tem informação, velho. Mas você conhece o jeito dela, né, mano? E nada mais. Mas conhece a personalidade dela, a gente sabe de nada da Paimon, da história dela. Enfim. Também temos amigos em Sumeru, coisas para fazer e as pessoas para encontrar. É por isso que decidimos ficar aqui por um tempo. Abriu a
I
porta.
want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't belong to either side, and neither side would want me.
É foda,
Speaking
né?
of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. I'll always be suspected of having ulterior motives. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham.
Pode falar.
I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most.
Sometimes I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
Ela tem audição melhor que os outros, ela finge não ouvir nada, né? Isso que é foda.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often. And when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on
Que
night duty.
porra é essa?
They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
Você sabe dizer de onde vem o som?
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
Velho hospital e está vindo choro de lá. É só dar uma peinada
I
só.
think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Precisamos ir nesse hospital.
Yeah, let's go!
E a pai vai falar toda animada. A gente vai no hospital velho, abandonado. E se ouvir choros, se ouvir pessoas chorando de noite.
Oh, is this the place? It's in terrible shape, and there's sand everywhere. Ah, monsters, watch out!
Monsters. Watch out.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected.
Mas só o que você está esperando?
Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than buildings dropping out of the sky? Or, you know, something like that.
Por quê?
He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one.
Boa.
Let's go in and take a look.
A gente nunca ativou um desses monumentos e abriu uma porta, né?
Oh, hey, Thumb. We haven't found Squad. Are you sure we aren't wasting our time here?
Só há uma maneira de
Patience.
descobrir, pai.
Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn.
Você vai ficar de noite no hospital abandonado. Esse cara é
I'm
louco.
taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read? What are you reading? Let Paimon see.
Não mostrou.
Okay, sure.
Ah, tá.
Huh? The natural position, which is the positional propensity of an entity in natural motion in contrast with an object in forced motion?
Ah, acho que tá falando
When free from external
o que
influences,
se move
every entity
tende
displays
a
the tendency to
continuar em
follow
movimento. O que
its
está em movimento tende a ficar em
natural
movimento e o que está parado tende a ficar parado.
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya.
Você entendeu? Ah, não, se foda.
How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this.
Eles estão indo em impossível lugar na casa. Você deveria ler um livro de vez em quando também.
Hey, Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful stuff already. And anyway, is that Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated?
Certo, certo. Paimon é a melhor. Ah, tá, do nada. Passou rápido assim um dia, para a noite.
Paimon's getting so sleepy.
Que
What was that sound?
There it is.
Caraca, que
It's
bizarro.
coming from that direction.
Entrei não, doido.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
Entrei embaixo não, doido.
But there's no way we can get down there.
Something is off about the interior here.
Ó o boy que o bagulho fez, eu não entrei não, doido. Mano. Que jeito.
As I thought. There's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one. Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
Beleza. Ops. Tem um aqui. Tem outro ali. Oxi. Ah, tá. Olha o bichinho caindo ali demais. Quero ver, não morreu. Não morreu. Ah, tá. Que louco. Falta mais um.
Like a lamb to the slaughter.
Não tá aqui. Tá ali em cima. 46 minutos de vídeo.
Allow me.
Oxi. Ah, acho que a sementinha de dentro ativou o balaio, né? Quer mais saber? Antes de eu entrar nesse porão mofado e assombrado, o vídeo vai ficando por aqui. É isso mesmo. Meio estranho, né? Mas tá uma duraçãozinha bacana de vídeo. Então vai ficar aqui. Enfim, obrigado por vocês que me acompanharam até aqui. O vídeo vai ficando por aqui. Se você gostou, deixe seu gostei. Considere se inscrever no canal, porque ajuda bastante. Relaxa que a gente se encontra uma outra hora. Valeu e falou.
Would you like to hear a lullaby?